The Biebrza National Park was created in 1993 and it is the biggest national park in Poland because it's 592 square kilometers big. The park was mainly created to protect swampy valley of the Biebrza River, which has a natural character, and lowland bogs which are connected to it. Wetlands of Biebrza are the biggest Polish peatlands, however their number is quite low in the whole world. I will stay in Gonions. I like calmness of this place very much. Last time I was here in October and I couldn't wait to come back. It's a quite small town located on the Biebrza River, which is surrounded by the beautiful views. You can admire the local nature without even going out of the town. It's quite late now, but I'd like to make some use of the last sun rays to see the nearest area. Thankfully, there is an observation tower not too far from Gonions, so we can do it even when it's getting darker, because you can get to it fast and see the surrounding area. An usual asphalt road leads to it, so nobody will have any problems to get there. The tower is high, roofed, and it can contain a group of people. It's difficult to believe, but I look at the same place as when I did when I was here in October. It was a rainless period back then, I admit, but it was very drying here. Without wetting my boots, I could reach horizon, but now I feel as if I was at the lake. The weather is not the best. It's raining. I'm not sure if it's going to be noticeable in the camera, but it's been raining a lot since today's morning. I was ready and I was about to leave on the trail when I got to know that the precipitation may be even more intense. Of course I could do it, but I'm almost sure I would come back totally soaked, probably wouldn't see anything, and for sure wouldn't record anything. Considering the fact I am going to stay here for a couple of days, I decided that I will wait in my room and if the weather improves later, I will go out. Because of that, I have had to change my plan for this trip. I have unfolded the map and I think I know what I'm going to do. We are here in the town of Gonions. If the weather improves before evening, I will go to Wólka Piaseczna and there, along the red trail when beavers can be found, I would like to reach the lookout point. Different animals can appear there. Tomorrow, on the other hand, I will set off to the south on the Carska Droga to Barwik. I'll reach the observation tower from there. I will definitely get to it. I would like to go further, but I've heard that the wellies I have with me would be insufficient, because there is so much water there that I would need waders. From the observation tower I will turn back towards Carska Droga and go further south to Grobla Honczarowska. I've heard that this is a place worth seeing. There is an observation tower too, and I'm also curious to see what I can see there. The next day I will be going around this area and I will spend the next 3 nights in Wisna to get to know this area better. I regret that I will not go to the Red Marsh, but we will do it next time. Fortunately, it has stopped raining, so I didn't want to lose this opportunity and I went on the trail. It's still a bit cold, hence the hat, but I can't wait to see something. It is much more wet than I thought. This place, which I will show you now, was dry, just dry when I was here for the last time. It's beautiful. Following this trail, we cross the forest, walking along the canal all the time. It is a place of frequent meetings with beavers, whose traces are visible everywhere, and many people come here mainly to meet them. There are several boards on the path informing about the local nature. Following this road, one can mainly expect the presence of beavers and look for them somewhere here in the water, but you also have to be careful because with the presence of beavers, there are also some threats such as these. Beavers dig holes here, which also go under the trail. We pass right over these burrows. When their ceiling is too weak at the time, we can fall inside. Besides beavers, you can find here, for example, many species of birds, moose, wolves. The easiest way to see them is when they are on the path in front of us. Unfortunately, it's raining cats and dogs now, and the situation required me to change my clothes. And when I did, I saw that something big has passed in front of me. I do not know what it was, but it was big for sure. Definitely bigger than the next case on the trail. It is worth adding that now, in spring, the path you follow is wide and clear, but then the vegetation covers it much more. I got to the lookout point where I wanted to stop. After this moment, the trail was covered on both sides by a wall of trees. From this place, you can admire the open space and animals that decide to enjoy it. Although the weather did not pamper me, I managed to go to the lookout point. I'm not going to use it. I will stand in front of it and I will look at what I can see from here. I dream about observing rat or moose mating season in this place. This time little was done, but it was to be expected. Osowiec Twierdza town is located next to Gonions, and it is where the Biebrza National Park city is located. The name of the place is not accidental, because it is here and in the neighborhood that you can admire the forts that are part of the Osowiec fortress. I think that historians could tell a lot about this place, but I'm more interested in the local nature, so we're going further. Carska Droga crosses the area of the Biebrza National Park on over 30 kilometers of length. Although it has been renovated and has a surface in a good condition, due to frequent encounters with animals, one should not drive too fast on it. I'm going now on Carska Droga. I've heard that meeting animals here, which are passing from one side of the forest to another, is not uncommon, so it is worth to pay attention to signs and comply with them. We should always take care to avoid accidents. It is worth to get to know the road and ride it at least once, because you can see the varied landscapes of the park. From here you can see wetland alder forests, peat bogs and mixed forests. Also, several hiking trails start right on this road or end here. There are signs along the road which are not to be found in other places in the country. They remind you where you are and how to behave. The signs are different, but all of them are worth attention. I got to Barvik. I am already accompanied by countless sounds of birds, and maybe later I will be able to even see a moose. The trail begins with crossing the forest, which turns into an open area. We have to walk along a clear path with large fragments surrounded by vegetation from both sides. However, this doesn't interfere too much in the observation of the local fauna, both terrestrial and overhead. Observations are made easier thanks to observation towers and platform. The trail is a great place to observe moose and also one of my favorites in the park. Personally, I loved my way to the village of Google, but it is worth noting that it is not an easy road and some should give up on it, especially the lonely ones. I managed to reach the observation tower. I'm speaking quietly now. I hope there are moose somewhere there. Let us hope for luck. From the tower there is a beautiful view of the area, and you can often see large mammals or local birds from it. Got it. There is a moose. There is a moose, but very far away. I don't know if I will be able to show it to you. It turned out that it was a female with a young one. It got so cold that I had to get dressed in warmer clothes. And it started to rain. When I decided to come back, the weather improved significantly. I set off towards Grobla Honcharowska, but it is impossible at this point not to mention the Ławki swamp. This is the most important and the largest breeding place of aquatic warblers in the entire European Union, the second most important in the world. From the information boards we can find next to the swamp, we learn that this bird is the rarest singing bird of continental Europe, and its population has decreased by 95% over the last century. It's good to see that people living in this area understand how precious bird visits them, and they don't hide pride, what can be seen in the sign which we pass when we travel on Carska Droga. Ławki swamp, so rare lowland bogs and related to it flora and fauna, can be admired from a wooden footbridge which enters into this area for the entire 400 meters. It's called Długa Luka, long gap. If you want to see or hear aquatic warbler, you must go there. It's best to be in this place an hour before sunset, or an hour after it rises, from mid-May to mid-July. I have already reached the second trail, Grobla. I met a couple who said they had not seen anything except for the moose, which was somewhere far away from the observation tower, but I hope that I will have more luck. This path leads through Ławki swamp, and most importantly we can admire the rich vegetation here. What's more, you can also find traces of many species of animals living in the area, see or hear different species of birds. Apparently you can even see a beaver here. Along the dike grow many species of trees, and they mainly surround us for the greater part of the road, but finally give way to the peat bogs and the open spaces characteristic for the Biebrza National Park. Once you can admire them, you quickly reach the observation tower at the Batalionowa Łąka. I do not see moose, even those that the couple saw. I have to admit that I can't see much. I am sitting here in the tower, and my stay is more pleasant thanks to the snipe that fly here right above me. I tried to record a few of them, but they are just too small and fly too fast for me to set the camera well to make them clearly visible. Perhaps you heard them too when I was on Barwik, when I was recording different views. In my opinion, the sounds made by snipe resemble a ruler. When we place the ruler on the edge of a table and hit it, it starts to vibrate, and just as we pull it in, the is going on, and in my opinion the snipe makes such noises. Maybe I can record it better somehow. And yes, 2 moose appeared. I've already set up a tripod to show them to you. Animals were feeding at a large distance from each other, but also at a large distance from me. However, when you carry a pair of binoculars, this is not a problem. Suddenly there was another member of deer family, roe deer. At that time I didn't know what would happen on Carska Droga. If moose appear on the road, the situation always looks the same. On the way back you can count on a closer encounter with the moose. As I have already mentioned, on Carska Droga it is relatively easy to find some animals, and when they appear they always arouse admiration and great interest. In moments like these, haste, plans or road traffic regulations are not important anymore. The meeting of moose should not be surprising, because the Biebrza National Park is the largest refuge of this species in Poland. What's more, it is an old population, long isolated in the past and therefore genetically distinct from moose from other areas. In such moments, joy and excitement can be felt in the air. The Biebrza National Park is a unique place, beautiful and raw, wild and diverse, interesting and relaxing. I love coming back here, and although my adventure in the park is over and it's time to go home now, I'm certain I'm not saying goodbye, but see you later.